Happy 4th of July week. For many people, this is a very exciting time. You're getting ready for cookouts, barbecues, fireworks, sugary drinks, other kinds of stuff, all things that are super exciting. Now, for some parents, though, you might be silently dreading all that's going to come after the fireworks, after the entire day, and the exertion that goes into it, and how your kiddo might react to that. Especially for some of you that have the kiddos that once the first one or two fireworks go off, they're here, they're screaming, they're crying, they can't be consoled whatsoever, and you're wondering, why does every other kid not act this way? It's not that there's a parenting problem. It's not that there is a discipline problem. It comes down to a nervous system. It is simple as that. And we see it here very often at Flow Life. Kids that have sensory processing disorder. And it's not just the sensory aspect. There's many other hidden features that tie into this 4th of July season. What we found is that oftentimes the sugary drinks and the candy goes up during this season, so we get some more sugar in our system. And it's not just the sugar, because we can usually burn that off pretty quickly, but there's something else hidden in those sugary drinks or sugary candies, and those red popsicles especially. You know exactly where I'm going with this, and that's red dye 40. Red dye 40 was studied in a Lancet randomized control trial. It actually found that when consumed, increased activity levels across all kids who consumed it, not just the ADHD kiddos. Not to mention, red dye 40 is something that is leaky to the gut, aka it makes the gut a little bit more permeable. That's going to mess with how we absorb foods and how we block out certain things. And if we're bringing in more sugars, more stimulation to a nervous system that's already working around the clock, that's a lot for a kiddo to handle. So when we see this red dye 40 come into play, it's not just the moment that they consume it, it's many days after as well. Because what a lot of parents will come in after 4th of July and say is, we had a great day, everything went well, we definitely had a crash into the evening, but then the last couple of days have just been a mess. This is where we see the effects come into play. So we got the red dye 40, we got the sensory processing going on. All of these factors are big stressors on the nervous system. Red dye 40 is not just something that causes leaky gut, but it can also pass the blood-brain barrier, which was studied in a California study. So it can be a neurotoxin at times because of the artificial nature and the preservative nature that it has. All of these things to say, it is a toxin that our nervous system is trying to figure out what to do with. And for some kids, parents might go, hey, why does this kid handle it well and why does this kid not? Well, it's all about the cumulative stress load that a kid handles and what they're experiencing or have experienced throughout their entire lifetime. So we see it here as the perfect storm very often. Kiddos that have lots of stress early on with prenatal stress, birth interventions, long labors, difficult deliveries, or even chronic infections early on in life, colic, constipation, eczema, you name it. All of those are different stressors that kids can experience. Stressors have to be processed by the nervous system. So it's not that red dye 40 or the fireworks at 150 decibels were the one thing that made your kid go off. It was the stressor or the straw that broke the camel's back. So every kiddo is dealing with different levels of stress. Every kiddo has a different nervous system, or all nervous systems have buckets. Some have small buckets, some have big buckets. And if your kiddo's bucket gets full, what do? You get the meltdowns, you get the behavior problems, you get all these things of, where the bloody world did this come from? So, what do you do with all that information? Well, first and foremost, of course, we can say try and remove the red dye 40, eat some healthier stuff, control the environment, get a little bit of structure and routine, make sure sleep is prioritized. Those are all fantastic things. I love that. But what's even more important is to get your child's nervous system scanned and evaluated. And that's what we do here at Flow Life. We use the Insight CLA scanner. It allows us to see your kiddo's nervous system in real time, figure out where that stuck stress and tension is that is bogging down their system, not allowing them to function in that thriving mentality. They're just trying to survive. And when they're trying to survive, you throw in more toxins, you throw in more sensory input on a nervous system that's already been exhausted and you don't even know it, then yes, of course you're going to see a system go into fight or flight. They're just trying to get through the moments. They don't care about trying to process it. They want to escape it and find comfort. And again, this is what we do at Flow Life is we find the stuck, stress, and tension in the nervous system, adjust with gentle adjustments that allows the balance to come back into play, allows kids to get out of that survival mode and move through those stressors with a lot more ease, a lot more optimization, and a lot faster too, which is most important. So don't delay. Get signed up, get scanned here at Flow Life Chiropractic. You can do that by clicking the link below, and we are here to serve the greater Eldersburg, Maryland area. I'm Dr. Noah, and I am here to serve you.